Hi, I'm Pat Kelly. Okay, in this problem, they present this table to us, and the task at hand for us is to determine if the table is a probability distribution. So the table on the top row gives us each of the different values of the variable x, 0, 1, 2, 3. And in the second row, which is important to us, are the proposed probabilities for each of those values of x. So if we're going to check to see if it's a probability distribution, check what that is with our definition. It's going to be this table, but there are a couple conditions that need to be met. One is that each of the individual probabilities needs to be between 0 and 1. Any probability has to be between 0 and 1. So we can't have any negative values. We can't have anything bigger than 1. So in the problem, we're really just checking each of these probabilities and seeing that there aren't any negative numbers and there aren't any values greater than 1. So this satisfies the condition, this one as well, no problem there. Nothing negative, nothing greater than 1. So this condition is met. Second condition we'll have to check for to see if it's a probability distribution is that the summation of those probabilities needs to equal 1. Nothing less, nothing more. So back to that second row in the table, we're just taking all of those values and adding them up and seeing if we get 1. 0.10 plus 0.45 plus 0.30 plus 0.15. If we add these up, a nickel plus 45 cents, 55 cents, up 30 cents, we're up to 85 cents, add another 15 cents, so that does equal $1. It does equal 1, like we needed it to. So the question of is this table a probability distribution has an answer of yes. Both conditions are met. So the second half of the problem was that if it is a probability distribution, we're supposed to graph it. So we're going to go to our axes here and draw a bar graph of this table. And the values of x in the top row there, I'm going to put on our horizontal axis, 0, 1, 2, 3. And up the vertical axis, we need the probabilities. So it's my second row, vertical axis. I've got to get all the way up to 0.45, so I'll just make some tick marks about there. 0.10, 0.30, 0.50. And now what we want to do above each of the values of x is draw a bar that reaches as high as the corresponding probability. So above 0, we have to get up to 0.10. 0.10, not too bad here. Just a above the 1, we need a probability of 0.45. So we're going to get all the way up to here. I'm just checking each value of x on the horizontal axis, finding it in the table, and trying to draw a bar above it whose height corresponds to the value of that probability. So above the 2, we need to get up to 0.30. And finally, above the 3, we want to just get up to 0.15. There. So the problem was the given table. We had to decide if it was a probability distribution. So we checked those two conditions. Both were satisfied. So we decided that yes, it was a probability distribution. And then we drew our bar chart, which just had the different values of x along the horizontal axis, and above each one, the corresponding probability. Well, that should be a good answer for this problem. Hopefully that helped. All right, thanks.